Okay, so let's get started with breakfast, and I have the same breakfast Monday through Friday. These are my overnight oats, and what I like to do is add some berries to them. So what I have here are some strawberries and raspberries, and what I like to do is just chop them up really fine, and then I put them in the microwave for about 40 seconds. And so they start to break down a little bit and just becomes a little bit like a jam without really being jam. So then I will pour this into my oats. You can see this is after I've scooped them all in there, and then I give them a nice stir. So there it is, all stirred up, and I really like to eat it this way because it just adds some dimensionality to the oats, and the berries smell amazing, and I like that they get a little bit broken down and the juices start going, so it mixes really well. And I kind of like all of this to be at room temperature, so warming up the berries helps do that too. So let's take a look at how I track this in MyFitnessPal. This is my breakfast, and I have an overnight oats recipe that I'll show you in a minute. And then I added 40 grams of strawberries and 20 grams of fresh raspberries. So here you can see the macro breakdown of the overnight oats themselves, which is obviously most of what I'm eating. The rest is just berries. So it's about 36 grams of carbs, 5.4 grams of fat, and 27 grams of protein, which is just a really great way to start the day with that much protein. And then if you're curious about what this recipe actually entails, I do half a cup of almond milk unsweetened. I use the one from Aldi. I do 4 grams of chia seeds, and then I add 113 grams, that should be about 4 ounces exactly, I've just got it in grams here, of non-fat plain Greek yogurt. I get this from Aldi as well. The protein powder that I use is from PE Science. I really like this strawberry cheesecake flavor, but it works great with any flavor, really. You can play around with what you like best. And then of course you need the oats. So I use 1 serving, which is 40 grams of oats, the old fashioned kind. And I mix this all up on a Sunday, and then I have it ready to go during the week. So I have this all saved as a recipe, so I can just go and add it super quickly back to my daily tracking. And then yeah, this is what it looks like, and I am excited to dig in. Okay, so we are back with lunch, and what do we have? I call this a potato hash. So it's got potatoes, turkey sausage, egg whites, and a bit of mushrooms that kind of blend in there with the sausage. But I really like this as an alternative to my egg bake, where I do kind of spinach and chicken and sort of do it all together. I think this is just far more delicious, but I don't always have time to do it. But when I do, I really enjoy this meal. And then with lunch, I'm just gonna have this Dannon Light and Fit Greek yogurt. This is in the banana cream flavor. It's got 80 calories and 12 grams of protein. I do enjoy this flavor. I think I like most of the Light and Fit Greek yogurt flavors. This one is hard to find in the 4-pack, so I tend to get it individually. And then I had a couple more carbs to play around with. So what I'm gonna do is add about 6 grams of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch Rolls cereal to my Light and Fit yogurt. And I feel like this is a great way, if you enjoy cereal, to just kind of get some of the taste of it, get a portion of it, but you're not eating like a huge bowl of cereal, which tends not to have a ton of nutritional value, at least if you're eating the good stuff like me. I know there's cereals that have more protein and other things. But yeah, you can see the macros here. 1 cup is 36 grams, and that is 150 calories, 4 grams of fat, and 2 grams of protein. Again, I'm gonna use about 6 of that, and it's still gonna be plenty for my yogurt. Okay, so this is how I'm tracking everything in MyFitnessPal. Potato hash, that's what I have, and I will show you the recipe for that in a moment and how I calculate that. That's 203 calories. The ketchup, I like how it's got a little smiley face there. In MyFitnessPal, you can use entries from other people, and whomever's I selected, they have a little smiley face with their ketchup. And if you're curious, I'm just using this Heinz tomato ketchup, perfectly normal, nothing fancy about it. I really prefer the brand Primal Kitchen, but we are out of that. We're almost out of this one. So this is what I chose today. And then you see my yogurt. I'm eating the banana cream, but this has strawberry cheesecake. It's the same macro, so I don't worry about that too much. And then, as I mentioned, I plan to do about 6 grams of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch Rolls, which is 25 calories. So here you can see the breakdown for the hash recipe in terms of the macros. It is 12 grams of carbs, 7.6 grams of fat, and 23.5 grams of protein. So for my oats, I have kind of all the ingredients for one serving. For something that's bigger like this that I make in batch, I do it for the total number of servings. So this week I'm eating it 4 times. So I've got 4 servings here. And then the ingredients that go into all 4 of those servings are these egg whites, potatoes, the turkey sausage from Target, really like that, and the mushrooms. And so it knows that I'm having 4 servings of it and then just calculates the macros per serving based on this. So yeah, that is my lunch and I am excited to get into it. All right guys, it's snack time, one of my favorite parts of the day. And I thought I would try something I've seen on the interwebs. This is sort of my take on apple nachos, but I've obviously used apples and bananas here. And then what I did was mix up 12 grams of PB Fit. So that's kind of the powdered peanut butter with some water. And then I put it into like a little pastry bag and then I just drizzled it all over this. And so that way it's basically a really fancy apples and peanut butter, but this version, because I used the powdered peanut butter, has more protein in it, and then it's also just visually appealing, which is going to make for a fun snack. So I'm excited to get into this. It looks really yummy and I'm excited to eat it. And then because I have a good amount of protein actually coming from that powdered peanut butter, I can have some more carbs for my snack. And so what I've chosen here is some popcorn, and let me show you the bag. So I just dug this out of the cupboard, but this is Clancy's cheddar jalapeno flavored popcorn. And I got this from Aldi and I have already opened it, clearly, and I was surprised by how much I liked this. I really like cheddar flavored popcorns, but I wasn't sure about the kick. And to be fair, it really does have a pretty strong kick, but something about that is really satisfying. Like, I enjoy it, I enjoy munching on it, but I can also stop because, you know, it just starts to be really spicy. So anyway, I'm going to enjoy this popcorn and these apple/banana nachos. And I'll just show you how I track this in my FitnessPal. My snacks also have my dessert, so that number probably looks a little bit high, but you can do some quick math if you want to see what I'm having now. But anyway, I have about 55 grams of an apple, I have my 12 grams of PB Fit, 45 grams of banana, and then 27 grams of the cheddar and jalapeno popcorn, which is slightly less than a serving. So that's how I track it in my FitnessPal. Okay, and then I'm really excited to bring you my dinner for the week. So as I've mentioned before, I meal prep breakfast, lunch, and dinners. Breakfast is usually my overnight oats. Lunches are like the potato hash that you saw today, where I'll do eggs and egg whites and some chicken and spinach. Dinners, I never do a chopped salad for dinner. I usually make things that are like soups or stews or things that I can make in a casserole dish. So this is quite different. But I was kind of just having a craving for it, so I went for it, and I have really been enjoying it. So I'll go into kind of what is this mixture here. It's chicken and corn and beans and all that, but I'll show you my FitnessPal. And then because I wanted to get a little extra protein in, I've added turkey and fat-free cheese. So let me show you which ones I add. So I added just half a serving of this fat-free mozzarella cheese. This stuff is amazing. And it's amazing because it's 45 calories per serving, and that's 9 grams of protein. I added half a serving's worth, and that's 4.5 grams of protein, adds a little bit of flavor. It's just an amazing way to add in a little extra protein. And then the turkey rolls I used is just this roasted turkey breast, and this is 25 calories a slice and 5 grams of protein. So between just topping with both of these, I've added almost an extra 10 grams of protein, and this is already a high protein dinner. The dressing I'm gonna use to top it off is the Skinny Girl fat-free, sugar-free dressing. It's the poppy seed flavor. I really enjoy this one. If you're sensitive to poppy seeds, they do kind of get stuck in your teeth a bit, but I don't really mind too much. And the macros you can see here are very, very calorie friendly, especially if you rather like load up on things like chicken and turkey in your salad. This is only 10 calories for 2 tablespoons and doesn't have any added sugar or anything. So this is just a great solution if you're having a salad and kind of want to go heavy on the stuff inside the salad and not the salad dressing. And then this is how I am tracking my salad. So the chopped salad is a recipe, which I will show you in a moment. I've got my 2 tablespoons of poppy seed dressing, my half serving of fat-free mozzarella cheese, and that oven roasted turkey breast. So my chopped salad recipe has about 14 grams of carbs, 7.5 grams of fat, and 35 grams of protein. So when I add in the other 10 grams, that's about 45 grams of protein for this meal, which is awesome. And then this is the recipe for the chopped salad. I just wanted to show you real quick. I used it making 10 servings. So this is for James and I for 5 nights. And here are all the ingredients. I used a can of corn, some yellow potatoes, lots and lots of romaine lettuce. We are basking in romaine, some Aldi chicken breast, and we cooked that up on the grill, some bacon bits from Aldi, just threw this all together in a bowl, and the bacon flavor really kind of resonates throughout. It's really nice. Then a can of cannelloni beans, a tub of the fat-free feta. This stuff is amazing. It's like 35 calories per serving. It's got a bunch of protein, tastes really nice. It's worked really well in that. And then you probably can't even see, but I did do some hard-boiled eggs in this mixture as well. So that's gonna add some protein and some healthy fat. So I am super excited to get into the salad. Like I said, I tend not to eat salads for meal prep, especially for dinner, but this one is so hearty. It's really delicious, and I've been looking forward to it every night. All right, guys, I'm not sure if you're ready for this, but I am. It's time for dessert. So what do we have for dessert today? I'll start with a non-interesting thing first and get it out of the way, though it is kind of interesting to me. Here I have a very crumpled up wrapper from Quest. So basically I had the other half of this yesterday, and so now I'm eating the remaining half. And this is the chocolate chip cookie dough Quest bar. It's 21 grams of protein. And then you can sort of see from where I've eviscerated it, it's 190 calories. So yesterday, how my macros worked out, I needed some more protein, but I didn't necessarily need the whole bar, so I ended up having half. And then today I'm gonna have the other half because I was kind of in the same situation. And I really like to do this with desserts because I feel like you can sort of have your cake and eat it too. You can have some of that sweet treat, but also continue hitting your protein goals. And then what is this magnificent creature, you ask? So I've been working on a baking business. It's called the Gooey Bar. And this is one that was actually an experiment. I was going for a brookie situation, but this one in particular, you can see the cookie layer is pretty slim. And I also feel like my cookie pies are just kind of better, but the brownie is really good and it's still absolutely delicious. It just probably won't make it to production, as they say. And I did weigh out this portion, and this was 5.2 ounces, I believe. So that's a little bit more than I'm gonna have. I just kind of wanted to show you guys the whole nice slice. What I will have is around 4 ounces, so maybe like 2/3 of this plus the Quest bar. And what I like to do for the Quest bar is just warm it up for like 10 to 12 seconds, and then some of those chocolate chunks you can see there. I know Gooey Bar just wants to steal the show, but some of the chocolate chunks in the Quest bar, they get all melty, and it's a really nice dessert. So you might be wondering, how am I going to track this? So I've got my cookie dough Quest protein bar, half of it there. That's pretty easy. And then the other part is my Gooey Bar brownie, and I don't calculate the macros for that. So I just looked up something that I thought would be pretty comparable. So I have Sweet Sophia's Bakery Brookie, and this is for a 4.5 ounce serving. So I'm going to trim mine down to be a little bit more, around 4.5 ounces, and then James can have the rest and probably more as well. So that's kind of how I estimate things. I sort of think about the portion I'm having. I find something comparable. That's if I already don't have it in MyFitnessPal and I'm not tracking it precisely, then I just do my best guess with an estimate. And as I mentioned, I do like to, if I can, with some of my more indulgent desserts, include a little bit of protein in there. I feel like it's just easier for my digestion. It's still delicious. It helps me meet my goals while still enjoying some of my favorite treats. So yeah, that's something I do. And you can see the snacks calorie, that's for all of my snacks, including the snack I showed you earlier. So it's not quite as much, but I do a good portion for what I think of as desserts, which sometimes is super indulgent and sometimes is just like protein bars. But I do that by having kind of balanced, reasonable meals throughout the day with lots of protein. And then for the things that I love, hello, I just try and factor in, okay, this is a dessert I really want. These are the high protein meals I have. How can I kind of play my macro Tetris to be able to enjoy the things I like and still hit my protein goals? So that's gonna round it out for this day of eating. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm gonna go and chomp down on this amazing slab of brownie.